Google has announced that similar segments are going away from May 1st, 2023. Now, this is really annoying. There are a lot of Google advertisers that use similar segments and that see great results from similar segments. And in this video, I'm going to explain what exactly is happening and what you can do about it. So similar segments, for those of you that aren't familiar, is similar to, say, a Facebook lookalike audience, where you provide Google with a source audience, a group of people, let's say people that have converted on your website before. And you say to Google, find me an audience that is similar, the people in it are similar to the ones that have already converted. And Google is pretty good at this. They have a lot of data on people who use Google and use various other online services, and they can work out exactly the type of person that converts on your website based on the information that you provide. So these going away certainly isn't a good thing for Google advertisers. So to demonstrate this, I'm in an example Google ad account. And if I go ahead up to here in tools and settings and then go ahead and click on Audience Manager, we will see this little warning at the top that says similar segments will be removed in May 2023 and will no longer be available to add to campaigns and ad group. And if I go over here and click on learn more about the update, I'll open that up in a new tab. There are a few things that I want to quickly go through on that page. So I'll include a link to this in the video description if you want to go through it yourself, but there's two main dates to keep in mind here. Firstly is that from May 1st, you're not going to be able to create any new similar segments and use them in new campaigns, new ad groups, etc. However, if you've already got campaigns that are running that are using similar segments, you'll get an extra few months. You'll be able to use those up to August 1st. And that extra time is useful if you're using similar segments and they are producing good results for your business. You're going to have longer to transition to other types of audiences to target, because you get those extra few months. But just be aware that this is how it's going to be structured. Should you be testing similar segments now? It's not something that I would recommend you do at this point. It's certainly something I've recommended over the past, because even if it works and you can run all the way up to August 1st, you're still going to need to come up with different options then. So I'm going to explain why this is happening and what you can do about it as a Google advertiser in a second. Before I do that, I just want to quickly let you know about our done for you Google Ads services. Now, we can create, manage, and optimize your Google ad campaigns for you. We can take that workload off your hands and almost certainly help you get better results when we do so. If you're interested in finding out more, there is a link in the video description where you can click on that, go through to a page and book in a free call directly with one of my team members. It's of course no obligation. We do have a $3K per month minimum budget requirement, so please only book a call if you meet that budget requirement. But if you do, go ahead and chat to them and hopefully we get a chance to work together. So why is this happening? Why is Google getting rid of similar segments? And the main reason is privacy. And this is a trend that we're seeing across all advertising platforms, social media platforms at the moment, is that people are feeling uncomfortable, politicians are feeling uncomfortable about the tracking and the ability to target based on people's activity online. And similar segments very much falls into that category, where we are providing a group of people to Google and we're saying, look, find people that are very similar to these people. And companies like Google, Meta's doing the same thing, are removing some of these options because they're a bit nervous about how creepy that looks. Now, to me, this is pretty performative. There's not much substance behind it in terms of what Google is able to do from a tracking standpoint, the machine learning process that they use in order to be able to target specific people. That's all going to be there. It's just sort of being removed from the interface for us as advertisers. I can absolutely guarantee that, for example, through Performance Max campaigns, Google is still going to be using similar segments. Even if you're not specifically creating those, the functionality exists. It's still going to be used. They're still going to be able to target people that are similar to people that have already converted before. It's just a little bit of a different setup. So a lot of these privacy changes are for display only. They're there for appearance's sake as opposed to actually substantive, but it doesn't mean that we need to change our approach when we're creating a Google ad campaigns, because we simply cannot create and select those options. A big part of the solution here is to trust Google more, which I know can be difficult for us as advertisers to trust the platform that we're advertising on. But as I've already mentioned, things like Performance Max campaigns, where a lot of the targeting is taken care of for you, they're going to be using very similar setups, very similar methods to similar segments to find you the best possible people to advertise in front of. So giving Google more flexibility, more control over who they put your ads in front of can definitely be a way to go and help combat this, particularly if you've seen that similar segments work for your business. And this is part of an overall trend where we're seeing the targeting, the people that you're putting your ads in front of, become less and less important across all online advertising platforms, including Google. Go back 7, 8 years ago, and that was incredibly important. Now, much more of the control over who your ads are put in front of is being given over to the ad platforms themselves. Now, I do want to be very clear that with Google ad campaigns, with search campaigns specifically, that keywords are still incredibly important. So that's a big determining factor to who sees your ads. Don't think that that's lumped in with this statement around targeting and audiences becoming a lot less important. It isn't. That is very much an aside. But if you are running ads on some of the other parts of the Google Ads world, like the display network or YouTube, for example, then the targeting, working out who to put your ads in front of, is becoming less and less of a determining factor in your success. And actually what goes into your ad from a creative and ad copy standpoint, whether it's video, images, the text that you write, all that sort of stuff, is going to become much more important. We've seen that already, and that's a trend that's going to continue. That's where you can have an advantage over your competitors, is in that stuff, because the targeting, the audiences, that's going to become very similar across the board. And it is what your prospects actually see in the ad, combined with, of course, the offer, which is obviously what they see. Those are going to be the much more important things. And that's where you're going to either win or lose in the competitive marketplace that is Google advertising. So my recommendation would be to just think in general, have this overall thought process of audiences targeting are going to become less important. It's not that they're completely unimportant. There's certainly things you want to be doing around that, but that's going to become less important. And I need to be putting more time into the ad creative, the ad copy, and of course the offer. That's incredibly important. What actually are your prospects getting when they click on your ad and come through to your website and they sign up and they purchase, or whatever it is they do? Is the offer significantly better than your competitors? Not necessarily is your targeting significantly better than your competitors. Now, one targeting option that isn't going anywhere, I cannot see this changing for many, many years, if ever, is location targeting. But a lot of Google advertisers get location targeting wrong. I'd strongly recommend you check out this video, which is a full tutorial on location targeting, working out exactly where you should be advertising. I explain it for local businesses, national businesses, etc. Strongly recommend you check it out.